end of the day. So I truly hope that all of you, those who are here with us right now, Sylvia Fragrance Company, hello Sylvia, and everybody who can hear us over there, everyone who can hear us from afar. So I'm very pleased and congratulate you all on such wonderful fairs and conferences. And I especially congratulate you all for such strong commitment. The last subject of our presentation is actually a comprehensive summary of all the information we've discussed until now. The main theme is how to achieve a long and healthy life by choosing and using cosmetics that are both beneficial for your health and kind to the environment. The main theme of this presentation is longevity, maintaining the health and function of the skin over time, here and now. Sustainable, safe cosmetics support long-term skin vitality by preventing damage and promoting regeneration, and preventing the accumulation of toxins while simultaneously reducing environmental harm. Agnieszka Nnolim is involved in toxicology, specifically the toxicological assessment of substances, raw materials, and finished products. Her expertise covers not only cosmetic items, but also a wide range of other manufactured goods, household products, accessories, toys, biocides, and even medical devices, especially those that are class 1. Why does skin longevity matter and what are its main mechanisms? The number one factor, always and still to this day, is photo damage, which means exposure to ultraviolet radiation, which is the primary cause of external skin aging. It causes cell damage, biological cells, DNA, oxidative stress, collagen degradation, and chronic inflammation. So regular sun protection slows down this photoaging process and reduces the risk of skin cancers. Oxidative stress, inflammatory processes, and free radicals generated by UV radiation, environmental pollution, and metabolic processes significantly accelerate the degradation of the extracellular matrix and lead to cellular dysfunction. And cellular aging and degradation, what exactly does that involve? Cells, they release inflammatory factors that destroy the extracellular matrix and hinder regeneration. It's often linked to diseases like cancer and fibrosis. Inflammatory factors in the secretory phenotype cause aging and consequently irreversibly destroy the entirety of the external matrix. Skin barrier and microbiome. With age, the barrier and microbiome's function becomes weaker and inflammation and skin sensitivity increase. I'll share an experience with this audience. When I was in China, people there are very careful about skin protection, in that they simply they put on protective clothing, including gloves, hats, or caps, so that almost their entire body surface is shielded from the sun's rays. What is the single most important cosmetic intervention that truly supports longevity? It's primarily about prevention, specifically daily sun protection. Is it about maintaining the balance or supporting the skin's protective barrier? Ceramides, which involves the use of cosmetic products that are rich in ceramides, fatty acids, and cholesterol. Glycerin, hyaluronic acid, in other words, these are humectants. The most frequent application of these products, post regular, post and long-lasting approach, post repeatedly applied. And of course, the use of formulas that are friendly to the microbiome, meaning formulas that do not damage or dry out the epidermis, avoiding aggressive detergents, appropriate preservative systems, and tests of the impact of these products on the microbiome. It can be like this. These are the primary, consistently important and leading active substances that, when present in the appropriate concentration and applied effectively, perform their cosmetic functions. And the cosmetic function is primarily about enhancing beauty and taking care of the skin's good appearance and maintaining its healthy condition. These are retinoids and retinol derivatives, which actively stimulate collagen synthesis, improve epidermal renewal, and enhance its overall complexion. Of course, at appropriate concentrations, and certainly not for all age groups. For women who are pregnant or in their reproductive years, retinoids might not be the best option. Following that, there are niacinamides, peptides, and plant-derived phytochemicals, which strengthen the skin's barrier, help reduce hyperpigmentation, and enhance skin elasticity. Of course, antioxidants reduce oxidative stress and support protection against harmful UV rays. Active ingredients must be in the appropriate form, concentration, and within a carrier that facilitates their delivery to the site of action without presenting any risk to health.
What's very key?
When carefully selecting active ingredients and also those components with a cosmetic function in order to effectively avoid the accumulation, the dangerous buildup of harmful toxins within the body and particularly within human tissues. Taking into account not only those substances that are carcinogenic, mutagenic, or those that pose a significant threat to the reproductive system, but in addition to that, another group of substances emerges. These are substances that are known to disrupt the body's hormonal balance. These are substances that are highly persistent in the environment and naturally within the human body, and also substances which they do not undergo biodegradation, which means they exhibit a complete lack of biodegradability. The substances in small amounts are usually contaminants. They accumulate in the body most often due to regular product use. And they cause disorders of the immune system, the thyroid gland, and the reproductive organs. Naturally, we're also talking about heavy metals such as lead, which particularly among adolescents and young children can induce irreversible alterations within the nervous system and subsequently lead to significant behavioral disturbances in a young person across various life situations. Potential endocrine disruptors are primarily phthalates and parabens, Of course, this applies to higher concentrations or even to the small concentrations to which we are exposed, for example, through cosmetics. Microcapsules, microplastics, contaminants, as I mentioned, heavy metals, asbestos, for example, in talc. All of this requires raw material control and extensive laboratory testing. What are the practical steps? It's primarily an inventory of ingredients and a risk assessment, a laboratory testing program for heavy metals, microplastics, and per and polyfluoroalkyl substances with their strong valence bonds. Updating our analytical methods in line with the ongoing development of industry standards. This means we ensure that all our research, or at least the majority of it, is conducted strictly according to the very latest standards and the most current research methodology. It extends very far. Sustainable development that supports and promotes longevity. It also involves a comprehensive life cycle analysis, which helps us to evaluate the full impact of formulations, packaging, and logistics. Biodegradable ingredients, avoiding persistent polymers, preferring those that are safe and readily decompose, and of course the packaging too. It is a known fact that from packaging, very often there occurs a process of migration of organic substances, monomers, and phthalates into the product, which then leads to exposure. The refill system, which means refilling, monomaterials that are suitable for recycling, recycled content of chemical substances that can be reused as far as possible. Of course, supply chain and transparency, meaning supplier audits, are very important. Tracking the origin of raw materials, certification is very important. Certification of chemical raw materials, ingredients. There are various organizations that carry out such certification. We, as a company specializing in the toxicological assessment of substances, raw materials, and finished products, we also provide certification services. We help producers or sellers of cosmetic products with the assessment and analysis of raw materials, fragrance ingredients, and packaging, and with issuing a certificate report that confirms the product meets eco requirements. Environmental specifications. Then such a certificate also helps you in making appropriate decisions regarding your marketing strategy. So what can one write? What can one declare to be compliant with the requirements of a sustainable environment? That is the Green Claims Directive on Environmental Statements. And now for companies, for all brands, a roadmap. What's most important? That's prevention and educating consumers on daily protection. SPF when it comes to the longevity of your skin and keeping it in truly excellent condition. The reformulation of high-risk products, which means the elimination of persistent substances that are currently lacking, those that accumulate in the body, reduction of persistent polymers, and the use of safe preservatives, alternative preservatives, which are effective and demonstrate their action within a specified, declared, defined time. and most importantly, an investment in clinically proven ingredients. It is highly advisable that the raw material supplier be able to provide you with the results of clinical and toxicological studies, so that this information is not a company secret, but rather that it is very transparent for the manufacturer, the brand, and through this, it will be possible to communicate the product statement in a better and clearer way and consistent manner. Having these results from clinical studies, primarily clinical and toxicological studies, which confirm the effects of, for example, peptides, vitamins in a given concentration, in a specific defined concentration, in a particular formulation,
for a particular group of recipients.
Of course, we have comprehensive testing and quality control programs. We check for heavy metals, microplastics, and acids, and also life cycle analysis. Regarding products and their packaging, prior to the full implementation of sustainable, environmentally friendly solutions, and also ensuring completely transparent communication. Statements supported by research and clear labels. Consumers can then consciously and safely choose such a product as a whole, with a very clear message on the label, and especially a message on the packaging, that this packaging is free from any the migration pathways of hazardous organic solvents, how they can transfer from the packaging materials directly into the product formulations, and consequently the potential exposure of consumers to these very same substances, even if only in minute quantities, but very important because these small amounts accumulate and later what follows, there is a risk. Various forms of damage, as well as different kinds of illnesses, especially those long-lasting, persistent chronic conditions. And so this is actually just a very small, brief summary of everything. Questions and discussions. The question is, what can we do? What ideas do we have? However, I would like to propose a solution before we conclude. We have 3 ladies here. I'm very happy about that too. Why not develop a product that originates from an active substance, an ingredient that possesses both significant activity and a beneficial cosmetic function? And then around this specific active substance, the one that has been carefully selected, we need to build the complete product formula, which means the active substance itself, along with appropriate carriers and also boosters for that particular carrier, correct? Next, the base. So it becomes clear that once we have information about the active substance, we already know if it will be water-based, oil-based, or wax-based, right? Usually water-based when it comes to the face, right? A proper maintenance system, wouldn't you agree? Perhaps some alternative methods that have a truly documented effect, right? Perhaps some kind of fragrance or maybe a specific scent composition or some essential oils or extracts, wouldn't you agree? So that in addition to being lovely and pleasant, a pleasant texture, and it was still pleasant, just a pleasant sensory feeling, meaning olfactory, right? And this is how you can perhaps approach the creation of a product. It's almost like building a house, isn't it? We start with the foundations and then later we choose the elements, whether we want higher or wider or we do have a certain vision for this product, but perhaps we should start exactly there. The active ingredient, the cosmetic function, meaning it's clear its purpose is to beautify, nourish, protect, right? UV filters the skin, if so, also change colors. So hair dyeing. And to build this formula and the entire product, including its packaging, right from that very foundation, perhaps it's worth looking at it in this particular way. And to reimagine products that have been selling for many, many years, but with a newer, fresher perspective on them. So I invite you to reflect, analyze, and discuss.
This is our team.
Specialists in assessing the safety of raw materials, ingredients, and finished products. We are from Krakow. If you have any questions or wish to share an idea and verify it from our point of view, compliance with specific regulation, ordinance, or directive within a certain region. It doesn't necessarily have to be Europe. It might be other regions of Europe or even the world. So feel free to ask. Every question is important. Every single question always brings something new to the table. So I warmly invite you to get in touch. And I truly wish you great innovation. I wish you many creative ideas and the successful realization of every single one of them. I also wish for courage, because it also requires a lot of courage to create something different or to look at the same formula from a different perspective, right? From the perspective, I see many young people from the perspective of such a young person, right? A fresh, truly fresh, new perspective. I wish you pleasant discussions and conversations within the R&D department, but most importantly, between R&D and marketing. Because these are always difficult conversations, aren't they? But I believe that if R&D has sufficient evidence to prove that a particular function, the intended function of a cosmetic product is supported by adequate data, then marketing, he will agree, accept, and will present the product. He will present the product in this very way. So I wish this to you, ladies. Thank you very much. And we'll see you again next year. Next year will be the 15th edition of the fair, an exceptional gathering with truly exceptional people. Every year, I don't know how it happens, but each year brings more and more unique individuals. So I congratulate you all. It's thanks to all of you that this fair is happening. I am truly delighted. I will be here again next year, and I sincerely hope that all of you will be here next year too. And the technical support organizer, Mr. Lukasz, whom I warmly greet. Perhaps he is listening to me now. And of course, all of you, every single one, thank you, goodbye.